In the border town of Monmouth, the line that divides Wales and neighbouring England has rarely seemed so clear-cut. Fortunately spared from some of the worst that COVID can bring, the Welsh Government wants it to stay that way. They've tried and failed to persuade Westminster to write law that protects them, so they are doing it themselves.
The Prime Minister could have acted in a way that would have been clear that this is about preventing people from high circulation areas going to low circulation areas, wherever they may be. But because I failed to persuade the Prime Minister to use the powers he has, I'm now having to use the powers that are here in Wales.
You will understand that many will see this as creating a far harder border between Wales and England than naturally ought to exist, and that you are overstepping the mark.
Well, I'm sure there will be people who will want to argue that. As I've said, I feel I've worked really hard not to make this a border issue.
Preventing visitors from high COVID incident areas of England, Scotland and Northern Ireland from entering Wales has rattled his political opponents.
I'm somewhat concerned that this is more to do with being anti-English than anti-COVID. I think the divisive nature of such a policy is dangerous. There are seamless communities along the border. I think the tone and the language that the First Minister is using is quite dangerous.
The logic behind protecting low COVID areas of Wales can be seen in the numbers. Monmouthshire has 47.6 cases per 100,000. Less than a 20th of the rate in Nottingham, 7% of the figure in Liverpool, and a 10th of the rate in Manchester. The Mayhill Hotel sits on the Offarsdyke Path, the ancient borderline dividing nations, and following today's announcement, opinion too.
People have got to start realising how difficult it is.
You can't just shut us down because people have still got to earn money, and by doing that, you're stopping people from going out and actually earning some money.
And there are doubts about how police in Wales will enforce the travel restrictions.
On the face of it, it would seem that it's very difficult to enforce for frontline police officers working across Wales when this comes into force.
The Welsh Government are accused by some of overstepping their powers, but they are confident that what they are proposing they are able to achieve. And with broad public support, it's unlikely to stop them. Tonight, the border is still open to all, but only until Friday. Rupert Evelyn, News at 10, Monmouth.